What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I was actually wrong in my video yesterday. I said the Season 3 update was coming May 11th. That is when the Kong vs. Godzilla comes out, is May 11th, but the actual Season 3 update is in 5 days on the 27th of April, making my videos that I'm making right now not have too much relevance. The last video, I do think most of those guns won't get nerfed, so I thought it was still a good video to make. As far as SMGs go, I think specifically the Owen and the MP40 are going to get nerfed pretty hard. They're just kind of dominant right now. I had some friends playing in a tournament probably like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and I was trying to help them find some sort of edge, find some sort of gun that could outperform what other people would be using, and I just couldn't come up with anything. There really isn't anything better than the Owen or the MP40 right now. So I'm going to talk about those two builds first, just so you guys are aware of what they are if you didn't know before, and then I'll talk about some other guns that are actually really good as well right now. The really popular MP40 build that everybody's using right now is the short barrel with the 7.62 ammunition, so I'm going to build that out real quick. You'll see how it changes the damage profile here. It also removes the last drop-off. It gives the MP40 just kind of a weird, sporadic damage profile that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it works out, giving overall a really, really high amount of DPS. So if we add those both, I just want to compare that to the base MP40. So base MP40 is orange, and then this meta MP40 is the magenta color. So if we change this to combination, and then I just want to look at DPS, because in this case there's so many weird things going on with that MP40 with the short barrel that I think it's better to just look at DPS. You can see that it has pretty solid DPS. It's up at 410 in the first range out to about 11 meters, and then after that it's down at about 320, which is still really good. And that's what makes this gun so good, is it just has almost no recoil, has really good mobility, obviously good sprint to fire time because it's an SMG, and it just has really solid DPS. So all those things combined make it just a really difficult gun to beat. It's extremely easy to use, and that's really why it's so popular right now. The other gun that I said is completely meta and unbeatable right now is the Owen Gun. So if we got that on here, you can see it has this weird damage profile. It actually didn't have this damage profile when it first came out. This changed sometime later. I don't know when. It used to have a normal damage profile, or higher head damage, a little bit lower neck, a little bit lower chest. But now it has like the same damage to head, neck, chest, and upper arm. So I don't know when they made that change, but it's been that way for a while now. And the unique thing is this rapid barrel. If you put the rapid barrel on there, you do exactly 50 damage to head, neck, chest, and upper arm. So this gives you this huge hitbox of upper body where you're literally doing exactly 50 damage, which means if they're at any like plate value, so if they're at 150, 200, 250, 300 health, any of those values, if you do only upper body shots, you're hitting perfectly efficient TTKs. You don't have any wasted damage at all, and that's what makes this thing have such ridiculous TTKs. If you put one of the magazines on it, like the 7.62 is what I originally recommended, that reduces the damage further and kind of changes up the way the damage profile looks. It's still good. It gives you a really high fire rate and more forgiving than not using that mag, but if you want the best TTKs, this is the way to go. Just use the rapid barrel with the default ammunition. You can use the 9mm 72 round mag, so you still get 72 bullets. And in terms of pure killing potential, TTK wise, nothing even touches this Owen. So let's save it, generate the summary, and then we will look at the combination DPS. And combination DPS, you can see that the Owen just takes over. And this is even accounting for those lower body shots because we have those percentages in there. But if you look at TTK of just like the upper body, so say chest, the TTK of the Owen gun is just absurd right now. At 300 health, it's below 500 milliseconds at 300 health, which is just crazy. You have to hit all those upper body shots obviously to get that TTK, but it's not that difficult of a thing to do. And even if you miss one or two shots, the TTK is so fast that it's not going to matter that much. You miss one shot, your TTK is still going to be 600 milliseconds. It's still going to be faster than the meta MP40. The downfall of the Owen, and why a lot of people like the MP40 more, is that the Owen has a much more bouncy recoil. It's much harder to hit all those shots, so it's not as easy to use. It also doesn't have as good of sprint to fire time. It doesn't have as good mobility. So there are a lot of reasons why the MP40 is going to still be a great choice, and that's why it's, even though the TTK numbers are a lot worse than the Owen gun with the rapid barrel, it's just the ease of use and the mobility and the sprint to fire time all play into that. ADS times as well are going to be better on the MP40. So it's just, as far as like SMGs go, the MP40 is more of a traditional SMG style weapon with the best sprint to fire times, the best mobility, low recoil, and decent TTKs. Whereas the Owen gun, slower, bouncier, harder to hit your shots. All right, I've added a couple more SMGs on here, ones that I've absolutely just been loving using. So I've made videos about the Type 100 before. It's never been changed. It still has ridiculous damage per second, just unmatched damage per second. So if we do combination shots and we look at DPS, you're going to see that the Type 100 is all the way up 100 DPS almost higher than that Owen gun. It's just insane. And I know the recoil goes left and right and left and right, and it feels hard to control, but in my experience, inside 15 meters, it still fries people. Even though the recoil is weird, you don't have any range with it, and that's probably why a lot of people don't like it, is if somebody's outside 20 meters, you don't have a chance. Whereas with that MP40, the recoil is so easy on it that outside 20 meters, you have a great chance, especially because you have better ADS and better sprint to fire time than somebody else that has an AR out. So even though your TTKs are going to be worse than an AR at 20 meters or longer, your sprint to fire, your ADS, everything's going to be quicker, so you'll be able to get shots on target faster. And that's just, it's hard to do that with the Type 100 because the recoil is really bouncy left to right. But on Rebirth, on close range engagements, I just absolutely fry people with this thing. It is insane, and it has so much range that you can actually still, they changed hollow point, so now it's at 80% of your original damage range. So even with hollow point, the first damage drop with this build is at 17.5 meters, which is crazy. I mean, that's super, super far, even with hollow point, reducing it by 20%. So you can just, anything inside that first damage drop off, in my opinion, the Type 100 is still the best gun. It just fries. And I know the mag is small. It's one of those guns that's hard to use. It's going to be hard to get multiple kills with it. But I've always been someone who just loves having the best TTK. I used the AS40 or the AS Val back in original Modern Warfare days as my sniper support. Even though it had a 30-round mag, I still loved it. And I feel the same about the Type 100. It's difficult to use, but dang, it just melts people. And if you're someone who likes that kind of gun, you should really, really try it out. I also put the LAPA on here. So the LAPA is a gun that I've raved about forever. But if we're doing combination TTK, you can see that the green LAPA actually has better TTKs than the MP40 with the short barrel. So it has similar ADS, similar sprint to fire time, similar movement, better TTKs with the reinforced barrel, and it has really low recoil as well. You can put the Raider stock on there and give it really great strafe speed and really good sprint to fire times, even better than the MP40. So I think the LAPA is an excellent gun right now. That I've been saying this forever. I know it's annoying to unlock, but it's just such a good gun. It is amazing as a regular SMG. It's amazing as a sniper support. It's just a great gun, and that's not gonna get changed. Like, I don't think they're gonna nerf the LAPA. So if you want a gun to level right now and get ready for the next patch that you know will be pretty good, I think the LAPA would be a very safe bet. Another gun that's in a really, really good spot is the Welgun. This has been amazing since the day it came out, basically. They did nerf the 7.62 ammo at one point, but overall, it's still a fantastic weapon. I would say that I do think it might be in danger of getting a little bit of a nerf. It won't be a big one, and I think it'll still be a good gun. But I do think it's one of the top SMGs, and probably one of the most used SMGs as well. So we get the Welgun, the Owen Gun, and the MP40. Those are probably some of the top used SMGs, and I think that's what they really look at mostly for nerfs. Occasionally they'll nerf something that's not getting used very much, but that seems to be pretty rare. Seems to be they stick to things that a lot of people are using. So I do think the Welgun might catch a nerf, but it's an excellent gun, especially because it has Gung Ho. So in perks, it has Gung Ho, which means it has 0 sprint to fire time, which is just a huge, huge benefit that I think a lot of people don't understand how important that is, especially for people that play pretty aggressive. So it's a great gun, but I'm going to put recommended builds for all these guns I've mentioned on my TrueTechData profile page, so you'll be able to go there to see all the recommended loads. I'll link that down below and pin it in a comment as well so you can see that. But I'm not actually going to continue this series because I didn't realize the update was in 5 days, but I did want to follow up with this SMG video. I'll remake all of this, of course, when the update comes out, but I just wanted to make some content for now. I'm going to be heading out on a vacation for a few days, probably my first real vacation since starting TGD 2 years ago. So looking forward to that. But I appreciate you guys. Again, the recommended loadouts will be on my profile on TrueTechData, and I will see you all in the next video. Probably, if I had to guess, it'll be on the 27th when the update comes out. But hope you have a good day.